All right, well, hello everyone. It's been a while, at least for Change Stars. It's so good to hear from you all again. We've been busy with life and the universe and everything. That's a reference, a space reference, so I hope you got it if you didn't see yourself out the door. I'm kidding. We want you to stay. We love you. I don't have any major news. It is just the two games tonight and tomorrow, and then probably some GTA streaming in a new server that we move to. More on that if I stream it. Um, I am not going to dawdle. I just want to get us in so that we can get playing because, hey, I've missed everybody over in the chat. So here we go. Let's go say hi. Hello.
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 Hi. How's it going? It's been so long. I missed you guys.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh my god, yes.
So I had the Twitch not muted, so just the sound levels, make sure everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the delay, there's enough of it that you surprised the fuck out of me there.
you were anticipating it, and yet you still were not prepared.
Yeah, it's like, okay, she's just saying that we're just gonna get ready. It's like, boom, hello.
Here I am. Yeah. When I heard it was silent, I kind of figured that would be the case, and I still did it anyways. Hi, Captain. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
You doing okay?
Yep, things are improved.
Things are improved. You're coming in a little quiet on my end, but I'm going to crank you up just so I can hear you.
I have pointed the microphone more toward my face as well.
Yes, now we can hear, now that it's aimed at your face. All right, cool. Hi, everyone. Did the music sound too loud compared to us talking, Dougler? That one's always a hard
music
gauge.
sounds perfect.
Music sounds perfect? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I feel like it's a good time to bring us in to the show and for Shay to get us up to speed.
Hello, everyone. I am Shay, or Shay the Fae, here on Twitch and Party with Games. Today, I am the Dreamweaver, or Storyteller, or Dungeon Mistress. Whatever title best suits your frame of mind. That being said, today I am running this game of Change Stars, a custom campaign for my players here and you, the lovely audience. This is a game made by a friend. This is a homebrew version that I set up, in which the exploration team manages to discover an alien world of a technologically primitive species, and the ramifications of what otherworldly entities might bring to said home. Traditionally, it does not go very well, but hopefully that can change in this go around. For that, the crew, one of the science crews that we have been following anyway, has made contact with the species, has been making friends with them, has been sharing some insight, has discovered that they are currently at war with another group of their same species, and have been fighting off the growing aggressions of another Miq'to species as well, that had been more or less taking over the minds of other animals to deploy its offspring, as it were. That was promptly obliterated from orbit, and You all have since had run-ins with the human empire, former remnants that have seemed to have band together, that have been in the system for a while, but have kept their heads low for a little bit. You also met pirates as well. It has been a hot minute since everything has happened, so players, I would like you to tell us who you are, who you're playing, and something that you remember from last session.
I remember.
I remember getting sick as hell about an hour in and just having to go.
That's fair. That did happen.
I did. I remember things.
Yep. We were in a temple. We learned about their religion.
Well, I'm Rictus. I will be playing Dr. Rindus Larucio, diplomat, biologist, all-around cutie pie. You're welcome. I popcorn over to Captain since he was filling in details.
Hi, I'm Captain Carrion, better known as John. I will be playing Douglas Dog Crowley, the party security specialist, Marine, widower, and old man. Over to Doodler.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Doodler. I am playing Thule, the inexperienced pilot for this whole expedition. They also taught Celios how to build a goddamn glider. So happy that finally paid off. And like John said, we did learn about their legend. We also learned that the planet is going to have an eclipse relatively shortly, and during that, one of the Queen's sons, his multiple sons or just one son, either way, one of the Queen's sons is going to choose their companions. And we're Team Celios. And popcorn over to Shay.
All right. On that note, I feel like the scene is going to open first as the camera kind of like fades in. We see the man that we saw before when Dr. Rindus had been captured and had seen on the quantum communication system. Only now he is in the flesh, and he paces forward and stops at a screen or window, hard to tell. Regardless, with the protective filter over it. Outside there, his silhouette is kind of highlighted by this dead neutron star, and something is fired out to begin orbiting this collapsed star, however far away it is. And the camera will then start to follow it, and it unfolds and begins to circle this condensed, this ball of condensed neutrons. And as the camera kind of like backs up, kind of fading away with this dead star in view, the camera kind of shifts, and then we see not one, but two of the moons beginning to overlap one another in this sky as the camera then kind of lowers over the planet of Miq'to. And you all had been preparing for the day to come, but before we get into anything, Um, as you all are working, there is a call from that you would all know is coming from the outpost that they had dropped prefabs nearby to do some research. The one near the first village, basically where you first made landing. But on the CCU, there is a blinking light showing that there is a message available.
Fire's gonna push that button.
When you go to listen in on the transmitted message, it comes in a bit jumbled, which isn't surprising if there's going to be a lot of active interference. And you were recently told that whenever the moons do overlap, it will bring a storm as well. That being said, the message comes through a bit garbled and staticky, but understandable. And it goes as follows. This is outpost, insert whatever number. It doesn't matter right now. This is the outpost. We have been studying. This message is for Dr. Rindis and her crew. We have been studying some of the local flora and fauna, and several of them, or some of them, have been growing in size during our observation, and we would like the doctor to make her rounds whenever she is available. There is also detection of a large storm brewing, so please wait that out first, and hopefully we see you soon.
What did
That is all.
What did
Goodbye.
they say was growing?
There is some data is transmitted. They said some of their specimens were continuing to grow in size, and they requested the doctor's presence to perform an analysis when she had the time.
Oh, okay. This is a nearby outpost, not the ship.
Yeah, not the ship.
Okay, so not my fault then. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure.
It is planet side.
Not my fault. Got it.
Not your fault yet.
Not my fault yet.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Keyword.
that was kind of where I was going without incriminating myself. Yeah. Did I do this? No. Okay. How can I make it worse?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I said it first.
And you all would have also noticed a couple other things going on throughout this city. A number of those silk rolls had been taken down and rolled up, and various structures are being closed off on lower ends of the city, especially ones around the river. And you notice that the same kind of thing happened in the village before. They know when the waters are going to rise, and they are waterproofing everything for said flooding. There are a number of them going around the walls that have been built up, and setting up what looks to be a fairly advanced for their age pumping system to maintain that, and probably a adaptation based on how their planet's tidal systems work. Is there anything you all wanted to do before you all were called?
No, not me.
Okay.
Nothing comes to mind.
So Celios, Celios approaches and says, I think I have a idea of how this is going to work. A number of other Miq'tions are going to be showing either what they are capable of or what benefit they can bring. If I am chosen, I will have to compete with a number of other of my kind to see if I am even capable of being a guardian.
I imagine you will have no trouble with it. You were worried, but there's nothing to really be worried about. You can handle it. You seem...
Maybe.
Well, don't forget we had some stuff in place to help you.
Yeah, you're gonna do great.
Hmm? We're going to make sure you get it.
And remind me, was there anything in place that you had?
We were working out the stun batons for her. I remember the stun batons. I can't remember anything else.
But we made a glider with her. You did
I
pretty
can't
good in the
remember
rolls
much
with
of
those.
that because I was trying not to throw up at the time. So
yeah, we really just the glider and the stun batons were what I remember.
Okay. On that. So for the stun batons, were you like providing her with one or showing her how they operate?
Both?
Because I honestly don't recall.
Yeah, I think it was both. We have to get her a stun baton and show her how to use it because she doesn't know how to use them.
press button and smack.
Yeah, but smack effectively because going against trained warriors.
Okay. On that note, then, you all have a little bit of time to relax before one of the servants comes around, and you recognize her. She was one who had served you some of the food the other day, the last time you feasted with them. And she approaches and says, "It is time for you all to make your appearance. A lot of the festivities have started to begin. If you are ready."
Yeah, I suppose as ready as we can be.
And she'll gesture for you all to follow. And you are led back up to the same kind of area you were before. You see, when you are brought back to this outdoor venue, as it were, with the small island beyond, just beyond the large well that they had constructed. You see that the Empress is there, and she has her eldest living daughter and youngest son there as well. She currently seems to be in conversation with her daughter, and but it's also very clear that while she is talking to her, she is watching a number of the other Miq'tions that are present, and the princeling that she has there is just kind of sitting down and waiting patiently. When you enter, they do take note of you, but you had your presence here before, so they're not as on guard as they had been previously, but you are all still a curiosity. And give me a moment. I know I don't really need this, but it's there.
So you get to see the map.
So as you are brought here, the Miq'tion that had led you here waits patiently to the side, and when given the gesture from the queen, she steps forward, and when she does, she says, "Ermia, you have served me well. I think that this is a good time for you to earn your final note, and if you are so inclined, I will still accept your service, and your crime will be expunged." And she gives an affirmative gesture and kind of leans forward, and you see the queen reaches out and withdraws another pin from the jewelry that she's wearing and says, "Congratulations." And then gestures for her to step aside, and she looks to you. "Welcome, Star Children."
Bonjour.
Hello.
I welcome you to this momentous occasion. If you all have any questions, please feel free to speak with anyone of the... Actually, I'm sure anyone would be interested in answering you, considering where you have come from. That being said, if you are just interested in enjoying the festivities, feel free to indulge in some of our meals. And if you are interested in taking partners, then you are more than welcome to try your luck.
We appreciate your hospitality once again.
Yes, much appreciated. You are as benevolent as you are wise.
She gives a nod and says, and then looks over to Tashra and says, now, my daughter here will have to learn the finer points of observing whose skills are best fitted. I regret to say she will be quite busy.
All right.
And she gives a nod and says, "Enjoy yourselves." And once dismissed, Celios kind of pulls you all aside again and says, "I think they are going to be showing off their skills somewhat soon. I'm going to try and get ready. Where is a good place to try and take off?"
We might go for somewhere high because we don't have any propulsion on the glider. Is there some place that looked like you'd be a good, or at least an okay spot for us to launch the glider for her?
You can probably climb the steep slope. Or you could try asking one of the guards there to escort you up to the room of the well.
Just somewhere where she can get a superior advantage. She wants to make an entrance after all.
Yeah, well, go to a guard to ask them about if we can actually.
I'm sorry, what was that?
But I was gonna ask guard, like, excuse me,
Yes.
would we be able to get an escort to someplace a little bit higher? There, for Celios's demonstration, it needs to come from someplace high.
What is this demonstration?
She is going to use a glider.
Firemark's like, not so loud, not so loud.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm only explaining it to them.
Give me a moment. And she steps away and she goes and speaks with another guard off the way. And a moment later, she returns and says, "Very well. You will be escorted up to the room of the well. But just know that you are going to be observed."
That's the whole reason we asked you to take us there, so...
Yep.
And she nods and begins to escort you, and you go inside, and it takes a moment, but moving through these carved out tunnels, you begin to ascend up into a point where you are able to see that the room you come out in is a carved out well with two openings on either side, and you can see the water below is being used to create a constant flow of this purified well water. You also do recall that when you were deeper inside in your previous visit, that you had seen various mechanisms in place to cause enough pressure to make this water run up this well. As things are, you don't, or you probably can guess that those pumps may not have to be so active since water levels have begun to start to rise anyway. But it is, but you do see a number of other machines just moving about, working in the area and maintaining this system. And you are led to, once led to this room, the guard gestures off to one side and says, "That outlook will overlook the venue below."
Perfect. And do we have enough time for Buyer to give the glider one more once over? Make sure that everything is all proper. Even though I know we did do pretty good last time.
Sure, if you want.
That's not their mechanics or scrutiny.
I'm gonna say scrutiny.
Scrutiny. One success.
So as you take the time to look it over, it does, everything about it seems to work just fine. You begin to help Celios with any questions she has about how to operate this again before she gives it her first try. As this is going on, Rindis and Dog, you are both able to observe that in the area below, there are, you see both the Empress Ralta and her daughter Tasra, and her youngest son are now all observing the Miq'tions who are present. You see some are presenting tools or weapons to show their craft. A group of others have broken off and have begun to spar each other to show off their strength. Others are singing or dancing or just generally trying to present whatever that they have that could benefit their clan.
A lively bunch. Not sure what the young prince is looking for, but seems they are trying everything under the suns to try and win them over.
Well, they're gonna try really hard.
They are. They sure are.
During the ceremony, the queen and her eldest daughter will select whoever impresses them most, and they will get to make their rounds attempting to attract her son.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, here I go, I guess.
Got
Let's
this. Just
knock. You-
trust yourself. Feel the air, how it's moving.
Is there anything you all would like to participate in, by the way?
Honestly, this probably is just going to sit and eat, maybe watch. She won't turn down any propositions if they ask, but she's not going to.
Okay.
Fire is avoiding the bugs this time. They will be snacking though.
Mm-hmm.
But most of it is cherry on Celios.
Speaking of bugs, you do see that there is some chitinous for lack of a better term, bowls with meat that has been cooked up, and it seems to be a very fine cuisine for them. And judging by the chitin itself, it probably came from one of those giant armored many-legged ones. But what do you think Cerlios's chances of garnering attention are?
If she pulls this off for making an impression on her entrance, probably quite high.
Because don't think anyone else has flown in.
Quick, attach sparklers to the ends of her glider.
Alright, so I'll roll a maneuver for her, and I'll give her a bonus for the glider. And what the heck she'll put? And she will spin those twists to show off
Twist.
and not damage the glider. So even for her first time attempting this, her intrinsic curiosity has, and her assistance in constructing this allows her to understand how this works relatively well. And so when she leaps off and begins to soar, you get a shot of this shadow kind of like gliding, this shadow kind of like moving over, and with their attention drawn, the queen and a number of the other Miq'tos do glance up and see this, and for a while they study it and watch as this circles around before it comes to a landing point. The landing is a bit rough, but mostly because she takes the time to protect the glider and kind of skids a little bit. Not really prepared for the speed at which she came down, but there is some very obvious interest in what had happened. And when one of the servants goes up to her and gestures for her to move forward. She is brought before the queen and the empress, and it seems like from where you are, you can't quite hear, but she does seem to be asking questions about this. You would also notice, actually, anyone who wants to, go ahead and give me a empathy.
I have that.
You do.
Do I? Probably.
Oh, just the regular empathy roll? Not the...
Insight. Insight, empathy.
Insight.
Okay.
Whoosha-sha.
Ensuing deuce.
I have one with another roll. Hold on. Doop. Ah.
Ah. So, the two of you would pick up that, and I'm sorry, I can't think of a thing to have happen for the D6. But as you all are kind of observing, you see that there are a number of these competitors who are now looking at Cyrlios with a contempt isn't the right word, but it's the look of competition.
They realize they're a threat to their position.
They realize she's a candidate, and she has successfully made herself a viable target, just like the rest of them. So after some of the questions are done, one of the ones who look a little more physically inclined steps forward and begins to speak with the Empress. And after a while, a group of them begin pairing off, and she does seem like she's already won out, beaten several of her peers. She does have a few scratches here and there, but Cyrlios, being a bit smaller, seems like an easier target. And if you were to guess, especially for you, Pyre, with the two insights, you would pick up that, okay, it's time to test her physical ability now to make sure that she can protect. So, I'm going to go ahead and give her another roll. When they are both given weapons, she takes out the stun baton, and this definitely draws attention from the Empress.
They were not prepared.
They were certainly not. But it does show that she has connections.
And she'll push you.
Cilius.
Okay. So the The baton is very obviously of alien make to them. The other one who draws who uses a staff, a metal stave of some kind, with what appears to be like a curved, not bladed, but like a little curved hook. It's not sharp. But the two of them begin to fight, and it's very obvious that the stronger of the two has the superior advantage on her. But as the fight goes on, and she begins to get too confident, there is a moment where she attempts to disarm the stun baton and grabs it, yelps, jumps back, and Cirlios is able to get a swing in, and there is the very obvious shock when her body begins to convulse. And this again draws attention, and you already see the Empress speaking to one of the guards, who steps off, and not too long later, the same guard who brought you three up here steps forward and says, "I have just received word that you are requested to make your presence known at the party below."
Oh, of course.
I imagine Dog was probably down there in his dress blues the entire time. Because I don't think that he was in on that little plan. And he's going, oh shit, they've wandered off. Where have they gone?
She didn't wander
And
far.
that's where they went. Son of a bitch.
We're just eating.
So as you are escorted down, Dog, since you're already there, one of the guards does approach you and says, "Our Empress would like a word with you."
He nods. He's like, oh, joys.
And as you are brought forward, the Ralta looks over to you and says, "Do you know what that device is?"
We may have.
And he's it's like, you're explaining this. I had nothing to do with this.
Are we? The engineer should probably explain it. This is going to take a step back behind you.
You two step back, and
oh.
Fire is just there standing forward.
Who's going to take responsibility for this? And we both take a step back before she can.
Oh, Dog's not taking a step back. He's just standing there at attention, looking at the two of them.
You can still stand at attention and take one step back so that she's in front.
What? So, are they referring to the glider or the stun baton?
She looks at you and says, "Now, the wings were interesting. Definitely made of materials here, but that was not crafted here. None of my smiths have that capability."
Yes. It is sort of alone until we can properly find substitutes on this planet where she can learn to make one of her own.
So it does not require any materials that are non-existent here in my home.
Or something that's roughly equivalent wouldn't. If you know how to... You just are going to have to teach them how to make a voltaic pile. Primitive kind of battery for any of our viewers who aren't familiar with it. You can improvise them yourself with magnets, paper, and copper.
A device that clearly causes us to flinch, but leaves no trace of damage. Is there any damage?
At its settings, no. You can overload it to an extreme level to cause damage, but there are plenty of failsafes to prevent that, such tampering.
An interesting concept. That device made the young Cierlios a little bit more formidable enough to stand on the same ground as the strongest among them.
We commonly use such devices to disable people non-lethally.
An interesting equalizer.
Well, to be honest, compared to the lethal mechanisms, it's a bit risky to use them, but it is generally preferable not to kill.
I suppose that depends on where you're from. There are many who say that I should have died in battle before I reached the age that I did.
And you'll see that my normal weapon that I carry is not capable of non-lethal action. But I carry a sidearm that is only capable of disabling. Use it when I can. Useful for capturing, and useful when you're trying to not hurt people that you need to stop from violent action.
I am afraid that in this war, that not all are going to view it that way. And unfortunately for me, I am not quite as strong as I was in my youth. But you have answered my questions. I think Cierlios will be allowed to court my son.
Oh.
Fire's smiling.
The dog is just having one of those moments of, we interfered a lot already, we nuked something from orbit.
We didn't nuke it, we carpet bombed it. There's a difference.
We didn't nuke it, we just shot a single really high velocity set of railgun rounds at it.
So we just orbital drop something on it, it's fine.
Orbital bombardment, it wasn't the nuke.
I'm glad I'm technically not the one in charge of anything other than the security on this team. It's going to be you looking over at Rindis filing the paperwork. Just at the moment that he says you filing the paperwork, everyone on the map steps back.
The the yeah, that's fine. She knows how to get around red tape.
Yeah. Yeah. Bypassing red tape. Of course, there's. Dog's just glad that all he's gonna have to do is give a candid account of events.
So, as time kind of progresses, there is a moment where a call is made, a horn is blown, something to gather the attention of all of them, and everyone kind of like glances skyward for a moment, and it looks like all three moons are currently in the sky, not quite overlapped yet, but nearly prepared to eclipse one another. The sun, however, is setting off in the horizon, and off in the distance, in every direction. You all are able to make out dark clouds that are likely being pulled from the combined gravity of the three moons in that direction.
So it sort of seems like the storm is starting to come in.
Yes. It's it looks like it's a little further out, but the higher level of the effect of three moons lining up on this planet are tugging not just on the tides, but also the winds. And on that note, the Empress does take a stand and says, "Everyone gathered here today. We are here to celebrate before we dive back into war. Now, with one demon dealt with, there is yet one other obstacle in our way to protect our way of life. Our tribe will remain strong." And she glances at everyone assembled. Each of your names have been listed to those of you who are going to be allowed to court. We're going to be allowed to court my son, Yumue. And if he so chooses, he may pick any number of you. It will then be your job to protect him with your very lives. And in turn, you will be rewarded. This in a time especially as of now. And she glances skyward again briefly and says, "This Shivak will not stop until they have claimed what they want here. And that includes our lands, that includes our people, and that includes our males. Your jobs will be of immense importance. But when we win this war, they will be made to rebuild what they have destroyed. And they will pay us with their mails. And she gestures skyward now and says, but tonight, both our clan and theirs will celebrate under the eyes of the goddess. Under the eye of the goddesses. And everyone begins to just watch the sky. They all begin to relax and murmur, and there's flickers on their sails as they communicate with one another. And not much longer, and all three moons line up, and the way they line up, it seems very much like an eyeball staring downward.
Okay. I can definitely see why they treat them with reverence as they do. Fire says this, they look up at the sky and the eclipsing moons.
And it's at that point that Tasha, the eldest daughter, rises, and she goes over to her brother, says something to him, and then begins to escort him over to the water. And she has a spear up, and the other Miq'tions kind of part ways for her. And there's a moment when he kind of like looks over curiously at the two humans in the Thren before he gets to the water's edge. At which point she says something to him again, and then turns around and returns, and he immediately dives into the water. And it's at that moment that the rest of them all dive in after him. And they all begin to circle and swim, and their sails all light up, glowing. And you notice that his sail doesn't emit color the way the females do. And they all seem to be peacocking for him as they just kind of swim and dance in the water.
Larry's gonna look over to Brenda's and Dog. So, what do you think are chances that she gets picked?
You know, I'm a bit all over the place with it right now. It's been an exciting ceremony to watch since there's a lot of news to take in.
Please? Honestly, yeah, really cool.
No small part. It's going to depend on whether or not she gets to show off what's in her mind as much as anything else.
Yeah.
She's smart and witty. So if she gets to show that off, then I'd say her chances are probably some of the best down there. But if she doesn't, I don't know. Because from the limited interaction with him, he seems to be smart himself. But I also, to be honest, do not understand their culture particularly much. That's more your job, Doctor.
Oh, I have been studying it quite extensively.
I've noticed.
It's fun to interact.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? You seem to have been pretty culturally acclimated. She's gonna eye the little trophy.
Yes. Seems an appropriate honor to be placed.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to call it the closest rules we could for international honors. There's nothing quite equivalent to it, so I had to use my best judgment.
Hey, would you all like to make a scrutiny?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Hey, my
I'll
first time
screw it
rolling
up.
something this session.
Screwed.
Rolling a scrutiny. Dog's highest cognition skill. Dogs only can. Nope.
That is 3.
Dog's not gonna push this. He doesn't.
One sec. I'm bringing mine up. Upgraded scrutiny, go! God damn it, it really wants to keep rolling those. Blep.
Yep. I'm gonna say Rendis, just because of your study of xenobiology. Your attention is a little bit divided, but Doug doesn't notice because he's facing away. But in the water there, they are beginning to have an orgy.
Ah,
Speaking of cultural exchanges,
Speaking of cultural exchanges, another group comes up to you, and Douglas, you are now made aware as another group has approached you. There is a different male among them, and the 2 females kind of circle around and have noticed Doug's little mark of honor, and as the male approaches, says, "Speaking of cultural exchanges," of course the translation comes out a little weird because he doesn't produce the color that females produce, so it sounds more like talk of people mixing.
I mean, it is a celebration.
And when you say that, he actually steps forward and kind of like starts to get a little curious. You notice that they're a little less muscular, probably because they don't do a lot of the fighting, but still in pretty good shape, probably because they have to spend a lot of their time mating.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair enough. And also half aquatic too.
And it's just.
Well, allons-y. And she is going to follow them.
And so you do. I think we're going to take a quick break here as the camera kind of like pans upwards. Everybody stretch, get a snack, use the bathroom if you need to, and we'll be back here in 10 minutes.
I'm gonna run down to the gas station real quick and get some bottled water because apparently it's gonna be a while they're flushing the water here. So I'll be back in about 10 minutes too.
Okay, okay.
All right, break time, everyone. We will see you soon.
See you soon.
See you.
Oh, I'm muted. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Are we still waiting on Captain?
I believe so.
Okay. Also, I saw Monster Prom 4 and I'm torn. Cute clown girl or Zoe? The answer is always Zoe. But, cute clown girl.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
It looks like it'll be fun.
Zoe's the one who writes all the fan fiction, so she has to be there.
It's her convention, yeah. But no, I just meant for like player options. It's a new set of player options, but Zoe is one of them, but then also cute clown girl.
Both here. Oh, me the other two not watching. Yeah. If the cat is finally calmed down.
Hmm.
Well, just have 15 days before I find out about the job.
Good luck.
If it's open, it is mine.
Hmm.
But I have to wait to see if it's open.
Hello, new subscriber. Diesel Shot renewing their sub. You are fabulous, and we still love you.
Hi, Diesel Shot. For playing your game.
Lee. All the Lees. There's double Lees in the chat.
We accept you happily.
Happily. Can hardly believe it.
It's incredibly wonderful to have you here.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I have my jug of water that should get me through the next day or two.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
And if they don't have it back on by the morning, I'm going to call and be grumpy.
How dare you not deliver on your promises?
It is my water.
Well, to be fair, you kind of need water to live.
It's true.
So,
It's important.
yeah.
You won't just be grumpy, you'll be raising hell. Alrighty. Here we
Make
are.
the appropriate grumpy noises in the appropriate grumpy directions.
Once more, we resume. Take it away, dear.
Welcome back, everyone. As the camera returns, fades back in, we get a shot of lightning arcing through the sky as heavy winds kind of buffet the treetops and stone tops of the various structures throughout the city. A few hours after after the ceremony and everyone had their fill of food or pleasure or games or
Their
whatever
fill,
they were
all
doing.
right.
The storm rolled in, and with the lower parts of the city kind of already flooded, we get a shot of water being processed out to help maintain the structure, but the various buildings and stuff in the lower winds have all been sealed, so ones that are partially underwater are not flooding. Or so that's generally the case. There are a few outside that we see kind of braving the storm with spears in hand, kind of waiting for something, some form of aquatic life to flicker by before they all dive in, and they seem to have tied themselves off to keep themselves from getting washed away. But even now, they're all out hunting and trying to maintain the heavy protein, low fiber diet that they have to maintain. But the camera pans upward a little ways up the mountain and back inside. You all have taken to indoors now and are allowed to stay on site for a bit. There is the sound of the howling wind and rain against the stonework outside, and it's very obvious it's a rather torrential storm. But you all have been welcomed to stay here for the time being. Was there anything any of you wanted to do during downtime, or shall I just move us ahead?
I am okay with moving ahead.
Buyer is going to be writing a letter.
What are you writing?
They're writing to their. So I asked Pat about the terminology, and they forgot to get back to me. But to the sister of their birth parent, and yet I'll write out what Buyer's going to send to you later.
Okay.
Just so they want to write a letter.
Okay. Anything for you, Douglas Dog Crowley?
Most what he's doing at the moment. He's back into the basically making sure his people are in their places, checking on them, and making sure that they don't go wandering off under the influence of anything.
Okay. You can do that for Rendus and Buyer. You do notice that that radio signals are getting a ton of interference right now. That being said, as you all are resting and relaxing at this time, there is a moment before, as you're just waiting in this room. It's solid stonework all around, but there are various light sources that seem to be derived of some other kind of bioluminescence, not from their sails, but it's like a glowing kind of powder. You're not sure what it came from, but it looks like something that they're using instead of burning flames in cavernous areas. There are more of those silken sheets that you still don't know what those come from either. And as you all are waiting, there is a moment before there is a presence that comes through the entrance. When you all glance upward, you see, flanked by a pair of guards whom she quickly dismisses, is Tashra, the eldest daughter, the current oldest princess. And she steps in and says, "Well, it seems that your ploy has worked."
Celios was chosen.
She was.
This is a good thing, is it not?
It is good. We expect her to do great things for the tribe. For now, my brother is resting. He has had a very busy day. And will have a very busy day tomorrow. He expressed curiosity about you.
You as in the three of us, or you as one of us particular?
Well, about your people, but also about you as the foremost representation of your people. I will be interested in anything I might be able to bring to him to sate his curiosity. Unfortunately, we do not have the luxury of allowing him to venture further than our territory. Well, further than this city. I am curious, though, more for your opinion. Once the storms die down, we will be re-engaging with the Shivak tribe again. And either myself or my mother is going to have to lead some into battle. You have expressed your reservations about becoming a part of this. So, if I were to go, or my mother were to go, there is a chance that we may not return. So, I would like to express my gratitude in your enlightening of our awareness.
It was no problem, really. We were more than happy to help get you all where you need to be so that you are living the best life you can for your people.
I'm no general, but there is some knowledge I can offer on fighting a defensive war against a raiding opponent when it is an appropriate time. About how we organized quick reaction forces, and how you'd be able to do the same given that you use mounts, allowing you to concentrate your force without having to raise more soldiers.
Your knowledge would be appreciated. That being said, if I go and I do not return, can you ensure that is it possible that you can keep the invading forces from taking over the rest of our lands? Worst case scenario.
I don't think it would be a problem. Is it an issue with either of you? Like, I know it gets a little wishy-washy, but we could help at the very least.
If it comes to what we can do is ensure and protect humanitarian corridors. I think we're allowed to do that, because that comes down to the interests of all sentient beings.
We are not humans, though.
Do you use the word humanitarian as a hold on, let me find
Sapientarians?
pertaining to the saving of intelligent lives and the alleviation of suffering. So, essentially, in this case, it means that we would probably be permitted to ensure that civilians would be able to evacuate and supply of rudimentary food and things to keep and medicine to people. But that's, I don't actually have the authority to promise that. I can
None
just
of us
say
do.
that's something we probably can't do. Unfortunately, we're not in charge.
This war, I do not believe is going to end until their leader, Sunzi, is able to conquer us, or we are able to break her forces.
An advantage when it
And-
comes to fighting a defensive war. You have local supply, you have local terrain. So breaking an invading enemy is a lot easier than conquering when you actually have trained forces and supply.
It would not have been a contest if we were not fighting the demon at the same time before. And perhaps the tide will change, but we have taken many hits in the meantime.
Yes. The casualties you've already suffered would make it even more important than ever to be able to concentrate forces. And I'll see about bringing some of our maps, and then we can cross-reference with yours, and I can make some strategic recommendations. the reality is the actual battle tactics I'm used to are significantly different from those of your people.
I will appreciate this crossing of references. That being said, if I do end up meeting their leader in battle, and she has already killed one of my sisters in a fair combat. So, and my sister was far more experienced than I was.
You're capable as it stands. That's concerning.
I may not like her, but she is a skilled warrior and tactician, so I am trying not to underestimate her. Well, I am not sure if you intended to even make your appearance known at any of our battlefields, but if you intend to stay here, then I will wish you the best of luck on your mission of allegiance.
I'll see what I'm allowed to do.
I am going to go find some of now that my duty is in my training on how to handle certain ceremonies is done for the day. I am going to find myself a few women to occupy my time.
Dog just gives a look over at the other two and nods. Good luck.
She'll return the gesture. She'll also repeat the gesture towards Byron Rindis.
I'll return it.
Rindis as well.
And then she steps out. So the next few days is going to be super stormy. There is a point when a jump signal does manage to get through. I imagine you found a place to bring the CCU in indoors that has that signal. Probably not too far in.
Yeah, a place that is mostly out of the storm, but still able to connect the signal for us.
Every now and then you probably have to go out in the rain to make sure that everything hasn't blown over or whatever, but there is a point where there is another signal or another message that is kind of blinked in. And when you play it, it's very distorted with static, and there's just a few words you're able to make out, but you hear something along the lines of movement on the horizon, lights, possible. Sure.
Movement
Request.
on-
Assistance.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Fire, you want to give me a systems check?
I would love to. Can I use my electronic analyzer for the +1?
Yes.
And we have time for our edge to go down?
Yes.
System. One. No, 1, not 5. 2 successes.
Okay. What would you like for your twist?
This is pertaining to the signal, right?
Yes.
Don't know if we can allow, but maybe a stronger connection between the two of them, so we can have more back and forth, even if it is just for a short duration.
So during the height of the storm, you would not have been able to get much of any signal, but at the time this was transmitted, was a while ago, and not long ago, but it was like hours ago, as opposed to minutes or moments. Kind of trying to clean up the message. It still comes across distorted, but you make out a few more words. You would also get that because of the storm, the signal has not broken atmosphere, if it's only just reaching you, as garbled as it is. But as you clean it up, you get lights on the horizon before it cuts out again. Then there's a jumbling of trying to think of the right word while being still technically correct. Something's out there. They're moving closer, requesting potential danger, requesting requesting backup security. It's a very just in case message, and their intended request was probably meant to be sent to the Kimitari. But even with the storm beginning to lessen, there's a chance it has not reached it.
Well, step one is we're going to relay the message to the Kimitari. Secondly,
Yeah.
we are probably the closest people.
True.
And, yeah. So Dog is going to go and begin changing into his armor.
Okie dokie.
We have our shuttle with us, right?
Yep, it's still there.
Fire's going to try to get the shuttle to relay the message.
Okay, give me another systems. You will need more than one success for this.
Okay. Could I use the electrical analyzer again?
Yes.
And yep, I had a trait that might help with this. Okay, that is for mechanics, not systems. Well, let's just bring back one of those edges real quick.
Hmm.
Shoot, only one success.
Only one success. So you try sending the signal, and just like you're not able to get it to reach its destination. You have relayed it, and as soon as the signal is able to get through whatever electrical interference there is, it will send. But as of now, you get the little dots going in a circle.
That I can't connect. But we have two options at the moment. We could try to go higher above the storm and set the signal again, or we could go straight there. If we go above, that's gonna be a big detour.
Well, so the options are fly through the storm or go above the storm, fly above the storm where the winds are safer, and then drop down through the storm back in.
Well, taking significantly more time. If we do go above the storm, we would be able to get the signal to the Kimitari.
Yeah, we'd be able to get the signal above while being able to actually go at top speed. So, because wouldn't we be fighting a headwind if we weren't above the storm?
Shay, which way is the wind going for us? Is he going with us or against us?
Pick a number between 1 and 6. What is it?
4.
It's going askew to you.
So not quite against us, but not quite with us.
At least for the direction you are intending of going.
Doc, what do you think?
It's you, Rendon.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of zoned out. Sorry. What was the plan?
So you have two options. Right now in the storm, we can't contact Kimitari. If we go above that, we could contact them and make our way to the base camp.
They told us to wait for the storm to pass.
Before, but now they're requesting aid quick.
Oh.
It's not.
Okay. I'm guessing their specimens got out. If they're asking for help, we shouldn't leave them waiting.
Yeah.
I think...
And the reality is that most of the pilots on the Kimitari wouldn't be able to manage this kind of storm anyway, so we should probably get there quick.
It's a good thing we've got VR here.
Yep.
Most pilots can't handle it.
Most, eh?
I would be okay if you feel confident in being able to get us through the storm.
It's not going to be smooth.
When are you ever?
Last part, he had other words, but
you can be smooth when you want to be VR. Don't worry, it was just a joke.
We should let them know we're leaving.
Leave them a note. We're gone. Wait, didn't they ask us to watch over them too during the storm?
Tashra asked to make sure her tribe survived if the worst happened and she fell in battle, and or her mother fell in battle. And that wasn't
a watch it while we're gone kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's like, damn it, we gotta split the party.
But yeah. So as you all are preparing to leave, I assume you're going to look for the either Tasha or her mother. As you go to look for them and you start moving through the halls, there's someone. As you kind of round a corner, you almost bump into a small group of the Miq'tos. You notice that they were just kind of moving about, but Celios is there, along with 6 others, and they pause, and you see between them, kind of situated between them, is the princeling, the same one. But he pauses and he looks over to the side curiously, and is like, is that them? And already newly appointed to their jobs and seemingly taking it very seriously, 2 of the females kind of get in front of them protectively before they relax a bit. As Cirlio steps forward and says, "So I am pleased to announce that they have accepted the ingenuity as part of their to take into their tribe."
It is very wonderful to hear, and I am so proud of you for your accomplishment.
You sound exhausted.
It has been a very long night, and your people have not discovered coffee yet.
And the young princeling, who also looks very tired, only really perking up because of the curious figures, is like, "What is coffee?"
Oh dear. You are not ready for our weapons. You are certainly not ready for caffeine.
It's a stimulant plant that is brewed into a something akin to a tea.
This is tea.
When you say that, a couple of the Miq'tions kind of look to each other, and their lights flicker, and they grin a bit, like ha ha ha. They probably misunderstood stimulant.
It doesn't kiss buffalo.
Makes you need less sleep.
They make the same face tired Rindis does at hearing stimulant, and also she's giggling.
You all look like you were in a hurry.
Yes, some of our people have sent out an alert and they need aid urgently. We are probably the only people in range with a pilot who can actually make it through the storm.
Oh, well, I'll go. Oh no, I can't go. I have to stay here now.
Yes. You have your matters here. We will deal with this. And if it's anything pressing that relates to your people, we'll see about getting that information back. Though I'm not sure if the radio that we have and the radio that you've got will be able to punch through this through the storm.
I could play with it if you'd let me.
Yeah.
Bless you.
John is. Hold on. Go on ahead. I'll be coughing for a little bit.
Okay. As long as you remember what I taught you about grounding.
Okay. If you do happen to see Miyoshi or my grandmother, please let her know what has transpired.
We most definitely will.
Okay, I appreciate it. And then you all can be in the mood to continue your motion, and just for the sake of brevity, you all inform, and we get another shot of you all piling into the shuttle to take off. And as it does, and lightning cracks through the sky in the distance, we are going to stop here, I think.
Sounds like a plan.
Does seem like an appropriate cliffhanger for us.
Also, I would like to ask, is your character alive?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
You all add one experience. Did you roleplay?
Yeah.
I did.
Make another experience. Did your character learn new information?
So much new information.
We actually did.
What did
Yeah.
you learn?
They accept ingenuity now.
They choose by mates through orgies.
Yeah. It's...
Also, the base camp is currently in some sort of trouble.
They're in danger.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and take another experience. Did you deepen or rupture a bond with another character?
I'd say
Several.
deepened a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And did your character edge break?
No.
Nope.
No.
Just
Usually don't. We're pretty good at managing stress.
All right.
Speaking of which, did we clear our stress during the orgy?
Yes.
Okay.
I love how Dog didn't build up any edge this entire session. Admittedly, he only rolled twice, but
But that's it. We'll pick the. Sorry, excuse me. We'll pick this up next time. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I know it was a little bit of a slow session, but we're getting back into the swings of it.
Mhm.
I'll be honest, the slow sessions are some of my favorites because we just get to see this really fun world you've built. And I'm very much in the old tabletop player typing, very much an explorer. I like to experience the world.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Do
glad
all the
you
side quests
enjoyed.
first.
Yeah, I'm an explorer, a power gamer, and a fairly heavyweight role player. It's just that Dog doesn't emote very much, so playing him as he is it's like it's one of those where it's like there's all sorts of things going on inside his head. It's just like he wouldn't say that.
I had half a mind to play one of the aliens as the big four-armed aliens from Mass Effect, where they don't emote, so they just say what they're feeling.
Yes, them.
The Elcor.
Yeah, the Elcor. Like, with barely disguised fear, please don't.
I. I'm just thinking
Joy is
about
laughter.
Hamlet with an all Elcor cast.
Oh, that would be great.
That was a thing they had. That's like a canon event that happened. You don't get to see it, but it's also like 12 hours long.
You get to
But
you
they
hear
talk
about it.
on the news. You hear about it in Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, I mean, you also hear about Blasto, and I wanted to see Blasto. Anyway,
Hey.
that's it, everybody. Time for outros. Hi, I'm Shay, or Shay the Fae, here on Twitch and Party White Games. I was the Dreamweaver, or the Dungeon Mistress, or whatever you want to call me. And this was my homebrew game of Change Stars, done by the wonderful, created by the wonderful Diesel Shot and our good friend Spider Queen Long. So props out to them for letting me use this, and hopefully I make a good story for their universe. That's it for me.
I'm last, so it's one of you two.
Yes, I'll go next. Hi, everybody. I'm Dougler. I've been playing Buyer. Was having a blast coming back in, and I hope you guys enjoyed yourself too. And over to John.
Hi, I'm John. I've been playing Dog and coughing up a lung. For things to plug, on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m., check me out on. You can check me out on twitch.tv/SteamSteelMurder, where I'm on stream with my friend Bert, running us through Werewolf 20th Anniversary Edition.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
Werewolf
That's
always
it for me.
seems
It's a game I want to play.
Hi, I'm Rindis. I'm currently very sleepy because I had an early day, and also in pain because my face got shot with lasers a lot. I was playing Rindis, and this was Party Wipe Game. It was so wonderful to see all of you here in the chat or listening along if you're catching it after the live airing. I promise to have more energy tomorrow, but like I said, it was an early day and I am in pain. It also accounts for my low energy. Do apologize again, but please come back and enjoy the rest of the show because our wonderful cast and our ever wonderful Streamweaver put their hearts and souls into this, and it would be so wonderful if you came back to watch more. Especially if you watch us tomorrow for Brindlewood Bay, where Dougler will be the storyteller and Shay and I will be old ladies who are trying to solve a murder mystery. That being said, I'm a sleepy Goyle. We're gonna wrap it up. You all be well. Love you. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.